I'm on. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another show. This is your boy Pico, the City Brown, Black, or whatever you want to call it, with another great topic. But before I get to that, you already know what to do. If you haven't subscribed to my channel already, feel free to go to YouTube, type in my name, Pico the City Brown, 101 Talk, PTSD, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell as well. You can also follow me on TikTok and Instagram. My Instagram is Pico Black 74. My TikTok is still Pico City. Hit the follow button on those social media platforms as well. Now, got two pretty cool topics, and one was sent to me by a fellow friend of mine. The other was sent to me by another fellow friend of mine. It's kind of interesting because I was only going to do one today, but I'm like, you know what? I'm going to put them both together. So the first topic is, I'm sorry. Why is it that when a man and woman breaks up, the man moves on faster than the woman? Why is it when a man and woman breaks up in a relationship, the man moves on faster than the woman? That's easy because, no, I'm just joking. Well, it goes both ways. So I can't put that all on the women, and I can't put it all on the men. I don't know what's wrong with my throat, but just bear with me. I can't put it on the men or the women because I guess it all depends on how you feel about that person. I mean, if you head over heels about that person, and let's just say if you head over heels about that person and that person moves on, it's going to be kind of hard for you to move on because you want to be with that person. And that goes both ways. That goes for men, like I said earlier, because I don't want nobody to say, well, he's just being one track. No, it goes both ways because sometimes women do move on faster than men. Sometimes men move on faster than women. It's the playing fields are at an absolute level of being even. So, like I said, it all depends on how you feel about the person. Now, if you, once again, head over heels about this person or are madly in love with them, and if he or she moves on, yeah, you're not going to move on per se. I know a lot of people say the best way to get over somebody is to move on. And in some cases, in some scenarios, that part is true. But you have to be absolutely sure that's what you want to do. Are you ready to move on? Because just say for argument's sake, he or she moves on and you still got feelings for that person. And that person... And no, I'm sorry. Yeah, she move on. You got feelings for that person, but you move on as well. And that person say, you know what? Hey, I did this, I did that. I went out there, blah, blah, Skippy, whatever. I want you back. Now I'm not saying it's 100% accurate possibility, but there's a good chance that you might, I'm not going to say jeopardize the other relationship because you probably was doing something to get bored and doing something because you were bored. But there's a good chance you might actually leave the other person you're dating or messing around with and get back with the person you want to be with. Because that's the way love works. I don't make the rules, never made the rules, but that's just how the rules are sometimes. I mean, sometimes we can get in situations and we're not ready to get in those situations because we think we're over this person, I'm over her, or I'm over him, but we're really not. So you have to be careful when you're trying to move on. So it don't matter who beat who to the finish line. Just be sure that person is out your system. And sometimes it takes a long time for somebody to get out of your system. And sometimes it never gets out of your system. So it's kind of a 50-50 thing. So it wouldn't be right to say, well, you know, hey, I'm finna be with her or I'm finna be with him, and you still thinking about that person the way you thought about him or her when y'all was together. That's not fair to the other person. Instead of saying, hey, wait, you know what? Okay, he moved on. Yeah, she moved on, but I'm not ready to move on because I'm not completely over this dude or over this woman. We're human. We make mistakes. We all do things we're not proud of, but let's just be honest. Some people drag other people along. I mean, we live, we learn. I can just put it that way. We live, we learn. So it's not the point that men move on faster, but I understand the question. But then again, if you look at it from an equal level, it's like women can move on faster than men because men. I'm not saying all men, so please don't say, well, this person did this person did that. No, I'm not saying everybody, but sometimes, I don't know what's wrong with my throat, but sometimes, a woman can move on and she's not prepared to let go 100% with the guy, or the guy's not ready to let go 100% with her. So games will be played. We all know that. That's not a problem. Games will always be played. But sometimes you play games, sometimes games play you. It's a learning process. And that goes with anybody. So it pretty much, it is what it is. So, oh yeah, and another thing, when men move on, I mean, a lot of men won't admit this, but when men per se move on, they really not moving on because they're still gonna want to be with that woman. But a lot of men are just stubborn like that. We won't say nothing like, man, forget her. No, it's not forget her. If you love somebody, you love them. There's nothing nobody can do about that situation. So as it with the men, same as it is with the women. We try to get with people to fill that void. That void of being alone. And me personally, I've never, ever agreed with the term. Sometimes you just, well, I ain't gonna say something, I just never agree with the term that, I just want to be alone. Because see, it's kind of weird because when people say that, true, you can be alone at certain things. But when people say, I just want to be alone, I don't want to do this no more, I don't want to do that no more. And if that's your intent on being with somebody, just be with the person. Be alone together. I mean, it's either or. I mean, it don't matter. I'm not trying to tell nobody what to do, but and another thing, hey, some people are just meant to be alone. No human is meant to be alone. Not one. Because like I always say, when the Lord created man and woman, he created Adam, he created Eve for Adam. Therefore, if men need to be alone and women need to be alone, he just would have made one or the other. Simple. So we need each other whether we like it or not. I mean, call it as it is. It's your call. Some people will agree with this. Some people won't agree with this, but it's not really a competition thing on who moves on faster. Just know that if you're moving on, you best be sure that's where you want to be, and you best be sure that he or she is out of your system completely. I mean completely, because if it's not, you will go back. It's been happening like that for eons of years, so that's just the way it is. I don't make the rules. I don't even enforce the rules. I'm just telling people the way it is. So, going back to what I was saying earlier, it really don't matter. It don't matter because some people just can't, how can I say this? Some people just can't let go the way people think it is. Oh, my ear. Some people just can't, but it happens, and you have to prepare yourself for it to happen because nothing lasts forever. We're just brinklings in time, whether we like it or not. But it's really, it can be men move on faster and women don't, and it can also be women move on faster and men don't. It's always a two-way street with this thing. So they both going to collide because some people will some people tell the truth about the situation. Some people won't tell the truth about the situation. Well, no, it's like this. Man, look, I was with old girl, and you know what? I dumped her, and I was just on my way. I'm not saying it don't work, but there's a big percentage that it don't work like that. That's where creeping comes into play. Or, girl, I dumped him or he dumped me, and give or take, y'all back messing around with each other. It's called life. Whether we like it or not, it's called life. And one thing we can never be big as, we can never be big as life. I don't care how much money you got. You can never be big as life. So, what'd you say, Mr. Roy? Usually the person that was more invested in the relationship has the hardest time. That's true. I'm sorry. I agree with that 100%. 100%. Yeah, the person that invested the most, it'll be hard for them to just walk away. Like, okay, you know what? I've been thinking about it, and you this way, and I'm this way. Let's just break up. Ain't nobody gonna say no. Okay, and actually mean it. It don't ever work like that. But I'm not a professional in this field. I'm just saying my thoughts. So it's always going to be that. So everybody was entitled to their own belief. You got people that actually believe that, which is fine. You can believe and do what you want. But me, I would never believe nothing like that, because things don't always turn out the way they have to be. But if you give it, if you want to make that extra boost, it will turn out the way it should be, if you understand what I'm saying. So, by that being said, I'm going to go with it's a 50-50 thing. I'm not going to take either sides on this one. I'm not going to say women move on faster than men move on faster than women. I'm going to call it straight down the middle. I'm just going to say it's a 50-50 thing. So, unless whoever's watching can have a disagreement with it, that's fine. You want to put it down there, that's fine. But that's just how I go at looking at it. And it can go on. A lot of people think they're ready for that jump, but they're not. They're not ready for that jump, because, as my dad, a lot of older people say, that the grass looks greener on the other side. And you can think you're ready, and this person is doing that person is doing this person is holding me back, that person is holding me back. Who's to say you're not holding yourself back? And I'm not saying not holding yourself back by doing the right thing, leaving some. Maybe it's something you're doing wrong. But the thing about relationships, nobody wants to talk about them. Nobody wants to really talk about them. Instead of always pointing the finger at the black man and the black man always pointing the finger at the woman, have anybody ever actually sat down and find out what's going on between him and her, or her and him? Nobody really has time for that, because it's always it's a ripple effect. It's something like a ripple effect. Hey, what's the problem? Let's talk about this thing. Let's do this. Let's do that. See what happens. And I'm not saying people don't get tired of people. We're human. If you get tired of your kids, you're going to get tired of your man or your woman. That's how I look at it. You get tired of your kids, you're going to get tired of your spouse. But everybody's not me. Everybody's not me. So on that note, I hope I answered the question right. So it goes both ways. Remember that it goes both ways. True, some people do move on faster. Some people don't move on faster. Some people think they're ready to do things, but in actuality it's not, because everybody needs a breather. That's fine, that's true, but you better make sure that's what you do. What was that? Hey, Angelica, how you doing? I feel like you be on the fence a lot. I'm always on the fence. I used to walk fences as a kid. No, I'm just joking. I'm joking. But I'm having a whole bunch of feedback. Don't know where it's coming from. I don't know. Can y'all hear that humming? Because I can hear it. I don't know where it's coming from. I'm sorry. But it's just that people are entitled to say and do what they want. It's good to have you up here again, Angelica. So it is what it is. So the other topic is kind of interesting because once again, I swear it's like people know when I be putting topics up on my page. The other one came in from a different person, but it came in. They left me a voicemail. Not a voicemail. The messages. You talk on the phone and stuff like that. So the next topic is, how do you know if she's the right one to settle down with and become your wife? How do you know that the woman is, and I use the phrase woman because a man should ask a woman for marriage. It shouldn't be the other way around. Now, a woman can hand on it like, you know what, man, I would like to get married one day, or, I would like to marry you one day, but I can't see a woman, as they say, get on one knee and be like, will you marry me? Don't look right. So that's why I use the phrase, the man should marry a woman. And how do you know if she's the right one? Well, that's a pretty big meatball. Because you don't know if somebody's the right one. You don't. You just go by faith. Keep God in it. He'll lead you in the right path. A lot of us think we're marrying the right one, but when you get married, that stuff changes. What you used to do, you don't do anymore. And I'm not saying that type of change is bad. I understand people grow old together and, things just ain't what it used to be when it comes to you two, but you never know if it's the right one. You just got to work at it and pray, ask the Lord to guide you, make sure everything's okay. But I'm going to dig a little deeper into this. Now, let's take the big guy out for a second, and we're just going to play on, well, I'm not going to say play on words, we're just going to play with this theory. How do you know that she's the right one? When y'all do stuff together all the time. Oh, no. When you guys, when you can't live without this person, that's your age, like my brother you say, that's my H boom coon. I still don't know what that means. That's some old school stuff. When that person is there for you and you're there for them and y'all can have arguments and come to a settled head at the end of the day and never go to bed angry, because you're not supposed to go to bed angry. I don't care if it's a man or a woman. You do not go to bed angry. That's a sign of stupidity because once you go to bed angry, there's a good chance you might wake up the exact same way. And then guess what? Nothing is solved. Nothing is solved. But as I was saying, if that's the one, if you're working on that level, by who you are when you're with them. I think you're saying, you can be yourself. Is that what you're saying, Angelica? You can pretty much be yourself when you're with that person. Yeah, and that's another thing. I mean, look how many of us are perpetrating. And I'm not just talking about the women. I'm talking about the men too. A lot of men perpetrate, a lot of women perpetrate. They be stuff that they're not. That's why it's always best to be who you are, because the first impression is the best. Oh, okay, who they bring out. Okay. Yeah, like making you a better person. You must choose your person over others every day. Yeah, look. If that ain't on key, the door ain't gonna open. Yeah, you have to, he or she have to be number one within each other's eyes. You can't be, well, I put my girl on the pedestal, I put my wife on the pedestal. That's it. She's got to put you on the pedestal too. Or, well, I'm using the term wife, but let's just dial it down a notch. My girl, if that's the person you want to be with, if she wants to be with you and you want to be with her, and that's been laid and sand has been written in the tablet, you have to put each other before everybody else. That's family, that's friends, that's co-work, that's anybody. In order to make that work, you have to make that man feel special, just like that man have to make you feel special. It's not a one-way street. It's not a one-way street. But she's my wife, she's my girl. I gotta make her feel like a queen. Is she gonna make you feel like a king? Is she? Because if she don't, it's not going to work. Remember, love is like Christmas. It's the gift that keeps on giving. So I gotta treat you like a queen. You gotta treat me like a king. There is no 80-20 or 60-40 as they say. No, it can't be that, because once you strive in perfection to be with somebody, like I always say, one, you got to put your best foot forward. That's with her and him. You got to put your best foot forward, because it's not going to work. If you hear a lot of men say this, I'm not just making this up, but you hear a lot of men say this: I did everything for you, but she still see fault in you that's not even there. Or men say that too. Women say that too, but you're picking out stuff that can be avoided. So once you can get over that hump, and she's got your back 110%, and he's got your back 110%, and y'all work on this thing together as a team or a unit, whatever you want to call it, and you keep God in it. I'm not saying you have to be a saint. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it. What I'm saying is, when you keep God in it, if you pray on this thing and you ask him for understanding, wisdom, knowledge, and a way to go, let me say this too. He's not going to say, you know what, I'm going to help you. You on the easy street. No, wedding. I said wedding. Marriage is hard. Relationships are hard, because guess what? Temptation is out there. That goes for both sexes. Temptation is out there for men just as much as temptation is out there for women. It's not just the men anymore. Remember back in the days, it was like up here with the guys. So it's pretty much on the equal field. You got guys really don't care if women got men. They don't care. What's a guy's favorite line is what? Do you have room for friends? Well, can I be your friend? Why would you want to be my friend? I have a man at home, or I have a husband at home. I don't need no friends. That's my friend right there. Especially if he's your husband. That's the only friend you're ever going to have. You must be willing to go through changes with your person, cause both of you will change over the years. That's true. You must love your person for who they are. For who they are, not for their possibilities. Mel, thank you, bro. What your man got to do? You remember the song by Positive K? I Got a Man. Although that was just a song, that's reality. Oh, I got a husband, or I got a man. Okay, man, that's your problem. I just want to have fun with you. But I know it sounds funny and it might sound cheesy and corny. But guess what? It happens every day. Wives cheat on their husbands. Husbands cheat on their wives. It happens. Because we think, like I said earlier in the first topic, we think the grass is greener. But it's not. Sure, this guy might have more money than the guy you got. This guy probably can fly you all over the world and speaking of over the world, everybody told me about the movie. I bought the movie Temptation. And if y'all seen the Tyler Perry, I think it's Tyler Perry movie. If y'all seen the movie Temptation, you know what I'm talking about. She had a good guy at the house. Was there for her from beginning to end to beginning. She met a guy with money. He seduced her. He wheeled her. He told her what she wanted to hear. She fell for it. Long story short, I'm quite sure everybody's seen it. I was just the only one to see it this year. Long story short, he gave her HIV. Although because she didn't get married to the other guy, her husband, ex-husband, they were still cool. But he couldn't do it no more. He went to this man's house got his wife out his house and beat the dude up. Because love is sacrifice. Now, I'm not saying nobody go over there, your woman over a guy house, go in there, kick the door in, you might not come back out. Let's just be honest. You might not come back out. So, that's how you know that she's the one. If she's there from you from day one. Remember, I used to say, if I'm living in the attic and I gotta eat beans, you gotta sleep in the attic and eat beans too. Those are the ones you marry. Those are the ones you ask God for strength and guidance to keep y'all on the right path. Because if you in the attic eating beans and she's in the $1 million home and she say, get your weight up, then I'll marry you, and you get your weight up, you marry her, it's not gonna work. Because y'all not on the same page. She don't know what sacrifice is together. She might know what sacrifice is by herself, but she don't know what it is together. That's why you hear a lot of old school people that's been married for 40, 50, 60 something years. All of them, these are different nationalities, but they all got the same agreement. We work through it. Everybody don't get married and start off billionaires. Everybody don't get married and start off millionaires. Everybody don't get married and start off just wealthy. They don't. You work at it. Now, if you get it already, that's fine. But you shouldn't look at a guy, or a guy shouldn't look at a woman and say, oh, she ain't got nothing. Or he ain't got nothing. No, if you love that person enough and you know that that person's going to be there for you through thick and thin, through heaven and hell, through hell and back. There we go. Then by all means, try to work it out. Hey, look, we're going to do this together, whop the boom, bam. Nothing's going to stand in our way. Because if you're a strong black woman and you're a strong black man and you got a strong relationship with each other, nothing can tear you down if you don't allow it to. Sure, there's going to be stumbling blocks. People going to push stumbling blocks right in front of you while you're looking at them, push it for the stumbling block to be in front of you. But the thing is, do you have the sense to jump over it or to push it back? Or you just going to sit there and let it roll you over? So there are good men out there. There's a lot of good men out there, just like there's a lot of good women out there. Everything we see on Facebook and Instagram, that's not the whole black agenda. A lot of us don't even do stuff like that. So we just can't go judge women off of, if you got 500 of them twerking, 501 going to, she might not have nothing to do with that at all. Or disgracing her body or dressing provocatively. There's a big percentage of women that don't dress provocatively, but you got to keep it on a respectful level. And yes, you cannot wear anything you want to wear and you got a guy or a husband. You should have enough respect for that man not to put that on. You shouldn't put it on and say, well, if you don't say nothing, I'm going to get away with it. No. You should have respect for that man not to wear it anyway. No, I can't wear this. My husband gonna kill me. My boyfriend gonna kill me. Boy, I ain't gonna say, you know what I mean. Not really kill somebody. He gonna have something to say. But it's the couples that pray together are the ones that stay together. This is an old line. This is nothing new. It's nothing new. So you got to keep God first. Sure, you're gonna have trials and tribulations because God's not, he can't afford to let you always have a sunny day. You got to get clouds in there. You got to get rain. You got to get snow. You got to get dreary days. And you have to, because that's what makes the love strong enough. And a lot of us be thinking our love is strong enough, but is your love strong enough? That's why we got so many divorces in the black community, because we think she's the one for me, and we think he's the one for me, and they're not. But the one that you're supposed to be with, or the one that's for you, I'll put it that way, you want nothing to do with it, and that's man and woman. What if he likes it? You can do. I mean, look, I'll put it this way: do it between you and him. Now, If that's in the house, that's fine. Knock yourself out. That's your husband. That's your guy. You can swing off the chandeliers in the tightest bodysuit you can ever find, but you have to dress accordingly. It don't matter if he like it or not. You're not supposed to wear that outside. And if he like, oh man, baby, you can wear that dress and the slit is way up and it's showing half of your vagina. That's signs of a weak man. That's not even a man. That's a boy. That's all it is. Because ain't no man in their right mind gonna let a woman outside of the house wearing what she's wearing, and you know she's got a nice body, and everybody gonna know he got a nice body. Right? Don't be a Keke Palmer. Keke Palmer grew up and embarrassed the whole black community. All of us. But people take her side and say, well, you know, it don't matter how much money you got. Right is right. See, that's one thing about being right and being wrong. It's bare. It's not rich. It's not poor. It's just bare. It's the truth. That's one thing about being right and wrong. Yeah, she just messed up everything. You know, her son gave her a butt and all stupid stuff. We don't care. Guess what? Women gain weight when they're pregnant. We all know that. Okay, I don't have to. If I was a woman, I don't have to make a song about. I had a daughter or a son, and now my butt is big now, and I don't need. And that's the problem we have with the black community. We always putting each other down. Remember the story I told you guys about needing and wanting. That's the difference. No woman needs a man to pay her bills. No. A woman can pay her own, especially in 2023, a woman can pay her own bills. That's fine. But when you go far and say stuff like, I don't need a man, period, or a man say, I don't need a woman, well, then guess what? You're going against the grain of what the Creator did. And you can't outdo what the Creator did, whether we like it or not. We can try all we want. But He will make sure He show you what you need. Remember you did this? Remember you did this? Remember you said this? Oh, He'll show it to you. He'll definitely show it to you. So we need each other. I said this 1,000 times. We need each other, whether we like it or not. As a black race, we need each other. Black woman need the black man need the black woman. So guess what? Ain't no sense in fighting each other. We gonna need each other eventually at the end of the day, any dang on way. But let that be a lesson. That's how you know when he's the one. I mean, that's how you know when she's the one that you're going to spend the rest of your life with. When she's got your back 100%. You go through hell, she go through hell. That's when it counts. The rest of this stuff, man, that stuff's for the birds. You go through hell, but like I said, she's good. But she's not finna help you. A woman, a wife, is always going to look out for her husband. Always. Because in her eyes, in a woman's eyes, her husband is top priority. He's top priority. Nobody comes before this man. I'm not talking about the Lord, because we all know God comes before everybody. That's why He made the way it is. God, Jesus, man, woman, child. So, if you got a woman like that, and she's down with you, that's going to accept you for who you are, that's going to accept your flaws and try to take your flaws and revamp them and say, you know what, let's work on this as a team, by all means, you best be keeping her. By all means, you best be keeping him. Because people like that, there's a billion men out there, there's a billion women out there, but there's only one of everybody. That's it. There's only one of everybody. You work at it. You pray on it. You fast together. You bring each other into the light. That's how relationships work. I didn't say you bring each other into the light and it's going to be perfect. Nothing's perfect. No man is good. Remember that. No man is good. That's a scripture in the Bible. God said, call no man good, because men fall. You just got to pray on it. Because He's the only way you can make a 2-year relationship turn to a 60-year marriage or anniversary or 40-year. We don't have the capacity to do that. Okay? Because there's always going to be sin in the world. Always. Look at her booty. Look at her breasts. And sometimes Satan will dangle a carrot right in front of you. He'll send that woman over there to mess you up. Yeah, I see you looking at me. Yeah, I'm okay, man. Then what you want? What you trying to do? I know you got a woman and stuff. That's how Satan works. And some of us fall for it. Some of us don't. Same thing with the women. Satan send men over there to women. It ain't always just about the woman. Satan to send you can have a pretty, a half decent guy. Satan to send, like my father used to say, and I don't know why he always said this, because back in the days, Billy D. Williams was the man. He would say, Satan was sending a Billy D. Williams over there. But is your love strong enough? Is it strong enough? Can you look Billy D in his eye and say, you know what? That's cool, but I'm here with my husband. That's cool, I'm here with my boyfriend. Those are signs of strong black women. Not, I got a guy, but you can slide me your number just in case. A friend of mine told me, you can't keep opening windows like that. And we had this conversation before. Actually, we had it recently. Guys do hold that window open. And she was absolutely right. I couldn't even argue with her. And we argue all the freaking time. But she was absolutely right. A guy will hold that window open before a woman will. A woman, someone would just flat out be like, no, you know what? Appreciate the offer, thanks, but I got a man, and walk on. But a guy like, I appreciate the offer, I got a woman, but slam me your number though, just in case, we can be friends or something, you keeping that window open, and she's going to jump through the window. And once she jumped through the window, you can't re-jump through the window. Because life there's no rewind and fast forward buttons in the real life. Once the damage is done, it's done. But yeah, most guys do have that. Most guys will hold that window open. Oh, baby, she's just a friend. Maybe, but your girl ain't looking at it like that, because just like men know men, women know women. But you best be believing me on that. Women know women. Women pretty much can look at another woman and say, this chick ain't up to no good. Men, we can do it, but sometimes we just don't want to. Oh, baby, she just cool. We already got the intent in our head that, man, you know what? If she give me a second of an inch, I'm gonna knock her drawers off. We already know. And guess what she's going to do? Remember I told you, Satan bring these people in your world. Now she's got to destroy what you got. And when she destroy what you got, y'all get together, and the same way you got her, she's going to do the same thing. The exact same thing. She's going to cheat on you. You're going to find out, but guess what? Don't go upside her head. Don't even cuss her out. Before you even do that, let that reality sink in. That's what you did to yours. And the only thing you can say is, you know what? I can't even get mad at you. But we quick to jump up in their faces. But we're the problem. We screwed that up. She didn't. So careful what you wish for, you just might get it. I mean, it's crazy, but that's just how it is. Some women are worth fighting for. Some women are not worth fighting for. Some men are worth fighting for. Some men are not worth fighting for. All of us come short of the glory. We all make mistakes. We all going to say things that hurt each other, and you hurt my feelings because we're human. Sometimes us humans take things too far. But it's the word, those two words, I'm sorry. And if you be sincere about it, you can just get on with the rest of your day. You can't say, well, I'm sorry, but remember I told you that about that? Yeah, well, I'm sorry, but if you're sorry, you're just sorry. Just cut it. That's it. I'm sorry. Bam. Well, I'm sorry, but you shouldn't have said it. No, don't worry about what she said. Worry about your own freaking demons, man. Worry about your own demons. Then you can at least try to get it right. So that's my theory. That's my outtake on how do a man know that that's the right woman for him when she's there for you 110%, man. when she's there for you, when she don't want to see you hurt, when she don't want to see you struggle alone. Now notice I didn't say struggle. I said struggle alone because all of us at one point, either we're going to struggle or we've been through a struggle. And if you got somebody, they supposed to go through that struggle with you. They don't just sit on the sideline and say, oh, okay, he's down for 6 months. And I got to go somewhere else and find somebody that ain't down for 6 months. But when he get back on his feet, I'm going to try to slither my way back into his life. Nope. I'm down. You down too. Now, the thing is, what can we do to make this work? Because I'm telling you now, if you got a woman that got your back and that woman is pushing you for perfection and giving you nothing but good news and glad tidings in your head, saying this and that, and I believe in you, you can build that man up 100%. But if you're fighting him and calling him a no good this, and you ain't this, you ain't that, and you ain't amount to a pile of beans. I did all this on my own. I got this big job. I don't need you no more. Be careful what you wish for, because sometimes you can't handle what you're going to get. Those are life lessons. You build each other up. You encourage that person. Yes, true. Sometimes men need more encouragement than women, because let's just look at the suicide rates. You got more suicide black men than more suicide women, because black men live under the gun 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's hard. Remember that? It's hard on a black man. That's true. That's damn true. But we have nobody to hold us up and say, you know what, baby, I got you. The hell with the job. You can lose your job, but I'm still yours. You still man. I got you. Those days are gone, because people only want what you got. People only want what you got. And then the Lord bless him. He get a good job. He get a good home or an apartment or whatever. He's on his feet. And then here you come. Hey, you. No. Stay where you at. Stay on over yonder. I'm good. Because she's going to bring you down. Now she's in it just for what you got. So if you ain't in it for what I'm trying to get, don't be in it. That's why a lot of black relationships don't work, because we don't believe in fighting for each other. We jump down each other's throats so much that we don't know how to even say something good about each other anymore. It's always something bad. It's always something bad. A guy can cheat on a woman 20 years ago and she'll still keep bringing it up like it was 20 minutes ago. If you say, you know what, it's done, it's over, let it be. A woman can cheat, the same thing. He keep bringing it up. Oh, no, you went at church or whatever. You was outside with that dude again. Let it go, man. Now, I can understand the joke. Everybody crack jokes, that's fine. But you know when you're not cracking a joke. You know when you're serious. Now, she's trying to do better, but every time you open your mouth, you bring her down. And then she might say one day, well, like, you know what? What's the heck? What the heck, man? He accused me of doing it anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and do it. Then when she do it, you ready to do this and beat her up and call all kind of stupid names and stuff. Why? That's what you wanted. That's what you wanted. Some people can't live without being in an abusive relationship or without being in a toxic relationship. You gotta fight each other. You gotta bring each other down. For what? I don't never want a woman that's gonna bring me down. Never. Now, we might have our days and we might talk about each other, but just constantly bringing you down, what's the purpose of her being there? That's not a helpmate. That's a problem. It's the purpose. Same thing with a guy. If that's the woman you chose to be with, deal with it. Deal with it. Don't, at the first sign of blood, you want to run the other way. No, deal with it. Find out what the problem is. Everybody's not out here cheating. Everybody's not out here cheating. You may think because we're human, we're going to think stupid and unrational things. We're human beings. Human beings always think stupid and unrational things. We're always going to do that. But will you believe her if she said, I'm not doing that? Or will you believe him? Or will you just say, well, okay, I believe you. Yeah, okay, I believe you. I believe you. But in your mind, you're like, this girl just left this dude's house. And she probably wasn't nowhere around no other guy. She probably was at home sleep when the phone was ringing. She couldn't hear it. She was home sleep, or she took the kids to the park or something and probably forgot her phone. Long story short, stop jumping to conclusions. Don't jump into conclusions every time, because what you think you know, you don't. That goes for everybody. So we gotta, that's how you know she's the one for you. That's the ones you put rings on fingers. Because just because you buy her a ring, that ring don't define who she is. That's just a piece of metal. She's going to be her with the ring. She's going to be her without the ring. That's how you look and say, you know what? That's going to be a good wife for me. That one right there, or that one right there, which one that's doing their job as a woman. But by you picking her out, you got to live by that man code. That's your wife. No other woman comes before her. Not one. Not even your mama. Not even your daughter, your grandmama. That's your wife. She's number one in your life now. Women, the exact same way. That's your husband. Your kids ain't number one no more. Your mama ain't number one no more. Your daddy ain't number one no more. You hear a lot of women say, I want a man that if you can't take care of me like my daddy took care of me, I don't want you. You shouldn't want a man to take care of you like your daddy took care of you. Because guess what? There's a good chance if that man's not rich, that's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I will never tell a woman, I want a woman just like my mama, because guess what? Ain't no woman like my mama, just like ain't no men like your daddy. No, it's not. It would never be, because God ordained him to be your dad. Simple. So we gotta draw these lines somewhere, man. We got to, because they're getting out of hand actually, and they don't make sense. Get together and work it out. Sure, you're going to have bad days, but your bad days shouldn't outweigh your good days, because your good have to outweigh your bad. Sure, there may be some sleep on the couch days. There may be some, I'm going to sleep in little Timmy's room, or I'm sleeping in the basement in the man cave. There will be days like that. Because like I said before, we are all human and we make mistakes. But once again, I'm going to say this one more time. Just because we're human and we make mistakes, that don't mean you go to bed hating each other. You never let the sun go down and you still got an attitude with your guy or your husband or your wife or your girl. Don't do that. You try to rectify that problem. Like I said, even if it takes me to sleep on the couch or take anybody to sleep on the couch, I'm going to sleep on the couch. But I ain't finna, you know what? You talk too much. You did this. You did that. I'm leaving. Oh, guess what? I'm filing for divorce because I outgrew him or I outgrew her. We get divorces for the stupidest things. Now, I'm not saying you don't have idiots out here. I would never say that. Never. But guess what? You got a lot of good people out here that make mistakes. It's not your job to say, you know what? I'm through with this. And he ain't did nothing bad like that. He loses his job. I got to go. I'm finna go to the other guy that's got all the money. Remember what I said about sticking together? He loses his job. By you being a helpmate to that man, you're supposed to have that man's back. Ease his pain. Easy. Nothing to do. Instead of just having your hand out and saying, gimme, 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 and it's all about me. Have you ever sat down and thought what this brother goes through? Have you? It's not easy being a black man, I'm telling y'all. And most black men know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm not counting the sisters out. I would never count the sisters out because we both black. They all hate our skin. It's hard on them too. It's about time we got some unity and we stick this thing out and you work it out and you try to you try to fix your wrongs and mend your mistakes. But everybody want to be bad. I ain't saying I'm sorry till she say she's sorry. That's stupid. No. None of us want to stay in for the long run. But it's going to do it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Like I said earlier, you already know what time it is. You already know it. But if you haven't subscribed, feel free to go to my YouTube. Type in my name, Pico the City Brown, One-on-One Talk, PTSD. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell. I'm also on TikTok and I'm on Instagram. My Instagram is Pico Black 74. My TikTok is still Pico City. So, hey, do me a favor. Hit those follow buttons if you haven't done it already. Feel free to follow me on those social media platforms. This is your boy. I'm out of here saying take care of yourself and each other. Keep God first because we need him more today than we need him yesterday. And let's love each other. Black man, you need the black woman. Black woman, you need the black man, whether we like it or not. That's the way God wanted it to be. And until we can say, hey, I'm going to look over what you did, it's not going to work. So, nice try. But I'm out of here, man. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'll probably be back tomorrow with another show because I got a long list of stuff. People keep sending me a long list of stuff, but I can get to it. I'm going to try to get to it as fast as I can, but you just got to bear with me. But I'm out of here, man. This is your boy Pico the City Black signing off saying take care of yourself and each other, and I probably will see you guys tomorrow. I am out of here.